Welcome to our comprehensive exploration of one of the most brutal and pivotal battles in history, the Battle of Stalingrad.
Bewiesen in diesen 3 Jahren, dass wir ein Volk sind, das bestehen kann vor den anderen. Und darum bitte ich ihn deutsches Volk.
From its strategic significance to the harrowing stories of survival, join us as we delve into every detail of this monumental conflict. Chapter 1. Background and Strategic Importance. The Battle of Stalingrad was fought between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union from July 17, 1942 to February 2, 1943. Stalingrad, now known as Volgograd, was a key industrial city on the Volga River. Controlling it meant cutting off Soviet transport routes and securing the oil fields of the Caucasus for Germany. For the Soviets, defending Stalingrad was a matter of national pride and crucial for their war effort. Chapter 2. The German Offensive. In the summer of 1942, the German Sixth Army, led by General Friedrich Paulus, launched Operation Blue, aimed at capturing Stalingrad. The initial advance was swift, with German forces pushing deep into Soviet territory, causing panic and retreats among Soviet units. The Volga River itself became a critical target, as crossing it would allow the Germans to isolate the city and secure their flank. Chapter 3. Initial Soviet Defense. Despite being caught off guard, Soviet forces, under the command of General Vasily Chukov, began to organize a determined defense. The battle quickly devolved into brutal urban warfare, with both sides engaging in house-to-house fighting. The Soviets employed a strategy of hugging the Germans, staying as close to enemy lines as possible to negate German air and artillery superiority. Snipers became a crucial component of the Soviet defense, with the likes of Vasily Zaitsev becoming legendary for their sharpshooting skills. Chapter 4. Life in Stalingrad. The civilian population of Stalingrad endured unimaginable hardship during the battle. With the city under constant bombardment, civilians sought refuge in cellars and makeshift shelters. Food and water were scarce, and the threat of death was ever present. Despite the dire conditions, the residents of Stalingrad showed incredible resilience, often assisting Soviet troops in any way they could. Chapter 5. Operation Uranus, the Soviet counteroffensive. In November 1942, the tide of the battle turned with the launch of Operation Uranus. Soviet forces, under Generals Georgy Zhukov and Alexander Vasilevsky, launched a massive counteroffensive to encircle the German Sixth Army. The operation was meticulously planned, targeting the weaker Romanian and Italian units guarding the flanks of the German forces. By November 23, 1942, Soviet forces had successfully encircled the German Sixth Army, trapping over 300,000 Axis troops in Stalingrad. Chapter 6. The Encirclement. With their supply lines cut and harsh winter setting in, the encircled German forces faced a dire situation. The Luftwaffe attempted to airlift supplies to the beleaguered troops, but these efforts fell far short of what was needed. Desperate for relief, General Paulus requested permission to break out of the encirclement, but Hitler insisted on holding Stalingrad at all costs. Chapter 7. The Siege and Starvation. The conditions for the encircled German troops quickly deteriorated. Starvation, disease, and constant Soviet attacks took a heavy toll. The situation was further compounded by the brutal winter weather, with temperatures plunging to minus 30 degrees Celsius, minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite their suffering, the German soldiers were ordered to fight to the last man, creating a grim and hopeless scenario within the encirclement. Chapter 8. The Surrender. By January 1943, the situation for the German Sixth Army had become untenable. On January 31st, General Paulus defied Hitler's orders and surrendered. The remaining German forces in Stalingrad capitulated on February 2nd, 1943. The battle had ended, but the cost was staggering. Chapter 9. Casualties and Aftermath. The Battle of Stalingrad was one of the bloodiest battles in history, with estimates of total casualties ranging from 1.1 to 2 million people. including soldiers and civilians. The victory at Stalingrad marked a turning point in the war, with the Soviet Union gaining the initiative and beginning the push westward that would eventually lead to the fall of Berlin. Chapter 10: Personal Stories and Heroism. Beyond the grand strategies and tactics, the Battle of Stalingrad is also remembered for the incredible personal stories of heroism and sacrifice. Stories like that of Sergeant Yakov Pavlov, who turned a simple apartment building into an impregnable fortress, and sniper Vasily Zaitsev, who became a symbol of Soviet resilience, highlight the human aspect of this brutal conflict. These individual acts of bravery and endurance played a crucial role in the outcome of the battle. Chapter 11: The Legacy of Stalingrad. The legacy of the Battle of Stalingrad endures to this day. The city, now named Volgograd, is a symbol of Soviet resilience and sacrifice. Memorials and museums commemorate the battle and its significance in World War II history. The Mamayev Kurgan Memorial Complex, with its towering statue, The Motherland Calls, stands as a poignant reminder of the battle's human cost and the enduring spirit of those who fought and lived through it. Thank you for joining us on this detailed journey through the Battle of Stalingrad. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth historical explorations.